Alright, so let's get rolling. We are ready to jump into Chapter 6. Uh, what is going to happen in Chapter 6, right? Because Irene is apparently dead. And the commander's all jacked up after getting shot in the face with Krauka magic. And everybody is apparently like really unhappy, as they should be, because things did not go the way we wanted it to. Whoops, no, don't quit.
Commander,
Keith, where are you?
we're still in Anet Keep with Oreen's... With Oreen. What are you doing?
I don't know. I feel like I have to tell them what happened. Divinity's Reach, Lion's Arch, Black Citadel.
Tell them what? It's over. Please. I need you.
All right. Be there soon.
So I don't think people would have been like super receptive to an instance where we actually go to like the capital cities, or like a series of tasks where we go to the capital cities and tell everyone, hey, the world's gonna end because we did the best we could and we failed. It's an interesting idea, though. I mean, what do you do when the world's about to end? You did your best to save the world, like every hero does in every video game ever, and that's like the big thing: save the world, right? And we failed. What? What do you do then? What does the protagonist do? Like, go have a drink, watch some Netflix. I mean, you can do whatever you want, I guess. Steal a car, play chicken in it, because it's the end of the world. But Keith really needs us, so instead of doing any of those things, we're gonna come talk to Keith. Let's see, where do we? Isn't it just right over here? Yeah. This is kind of an interesting thing that Chapter 6 starts here in the map for Chapter 5. As far as I remember, this is the only time they do that, because theoretically somebody could unlock Chapter 6 without having unlocked Chapter 5 and then not know how to start the instance. I don't remember if they created a workaround for that or not. It's possible that they did, or it's possible that they gave people Chapter 5 if they unlocked Chapter 6. But I genuinely don't remember. It's a little interesting bit of trivia. Maybe I'll go back and look up sometime, but not right now. Let's see what Keith has to say. So well, we're not gonna. Let's not. Let's play through this and we'll talk about it.
Hey.
Okay, so we're gonna walk super slow again.
Hey, do we have,
No. I've got nothing.
yeah.
How is everyone?
See for yourself.
I assume that Bram was going to say, do we have a plan? I think that's, clearly what was intended there. But maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was going to ask for a bologna sandwich. We don't know because we cut him off. Good job, Commander.
She went out like a true corsair.
No. Like a true soldier.
Oh, Commander, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
It's all right.
So Almora, Saida, Kanak. This must be a real bummer for Almora. None of them have any special dialogue here. We'll keep moving. But yeah, what a huge buzzkill for Almora, and for a lot of these folks, really. We got the Zephyrites here.
Thank you, Logan.
Oh, this Zephyrite has an amazing beard. Why is this beard not available when you design a human? Or is this guy a Norn? No, because he's not that much taller. This is the shortest female frame. He's not that much taller. In fact, it looks like he might be shorter than Logan. So this is a human design. I've never seen that beard before. I should pay more attention. It's magnificent.
Commander, we're here to pay our final respects. We've been singing to her since before she was born. It seems only fitting we sing for her one last time as we prepare for the end of all things.
You also can't get this goatee. Isn't that interesting that we got like facial hair that you can't get? Yes. So poor Radiance here. Yeah, the Zephyrites presumably also would take this particularly hard, since this kind of represents like, kind of like what they're all about in terms of like their faith slash philosophy slash whatever. Timey is making a lot of noise over here. Jeez, Timey.
You made it. Oh, thank you. It's so hard to...
We'll get through this together.
I don't see how. Kralkatorrik is in the mist, devouring everything he can. He won.
Gorik!
He's right.
We failed. Again.
Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup.
The commander will figure something out. Always does.
No, Pram. Not this time. It's over. Keith and I will tend to Aurene. The rest of you... You should be with the ones you love.
We are.
Yeah, we are.
What they said.
I like how the commander's just
Whatever
packing
time
it
we
in.
have left,
Give up, Commander.
it's a gift. Aurene gave it to us.
Does that even matter?
It matters.
Does it though?
I can't look at her like this anymore.
I'm with Zephyr on
These
this.
crystals offer.
We can weaken the brand. It would be an honor.
Alright. So they're gonna, here's Aurene, still dead, still spiked through with all the brand. So now we're gonna undergo the task of like trying to recover her, because, you know, it's really a bummer to just leave her like this. I mean, you know, we're not Russian soldiers, we don't just leave the dead on the battlefield, right? So, here we go, kind of trying to recover. Hey, watch where you're throwing that, Keith.
What is that?
I don't know. But I feel... something.
We feel it too.
Yes. Yes. It's like...
An echo.
Huh. So I guess we're going to try and destroy some of this brand here, because there seems to be something happening when we do so.
Impossible.
Oh, look. Case flowers are back.
Everyone stand back.
What is this? What are you doing?
Commander, what's happening?
She's glowing?
Alright, so it's pretty obvious where this is going, right? Like, I think we can see what's going on here.
My champion. Scion speaks. Aurene, how?
Eating a lich has its advantages.
Oh. Alchemy. Dragons eat magic.
Praise Choco! Kept us waiting long enough.
Brand in heart. Hard to mend.
Aurene, please. You must relax.
No time to grab Katoric. Stop him.
But how would this be any different? Won't we just fail again?
We did not fail. We learned.
She had to die. For this was the fire of courage.
And so did they. Follow their god into battle.
Without fear or hesitation.
Now we must ride. Scion and champion. Flush Kralkatorrik. From the mists.
Right. If he dies in the mists, that's it. His magic is gone, and so is Tyria.
Yes, my vision came true. And so must his.
Gorik, send the commander
Prop telemetry coming your way. Do not let him get away this time.
Whoa. Calm down, Gort.
Can you meet us on the other side?
We know where you're steering him. The Pact will be there to finish the fight.
We'll all coordinate with Gorik and Timey. Today the whole world joins Dragon's Watch.
We don't need that, Rox.
Finish the song we started.
I will. I promise. It's time, champion.
Are you ready?
I'm gonna talk first, but sure, we're almost ready, Irene. So a few interesting observations here, a few things to talk about before we charge forward. One little small thing. Apparently, Irene can talk directly to people now. So that whole thing with like Kaith, her purpose being the mouthpiece of Irene, apparently lasted for all of one instance. Not sure what that's about, but okay. And that will remain going forward. Like from this point forward, Irene will speak to us directly. So I guess that's that. Like Kaith, you no longer really have a purpose, which is great. Maybe we can get rid of Kaith now because she's not a very likable character. So once again, ArenaNet brings someone just back from the dead because they love doing that. This one obviously came as no surprise to anyone. Like everybody pretty much agreed that Irene was going to come back in some way, shape, or form. I kind of didn't believe that she was going to come back 100% as Irene, just like this right here, but of course she did, because just when you think ArenaNet has kind of hit a low point in terms of simplicity in their storytelling, they dazzle you again. And that's what this is. So, yeah, another character that they kill and bring back. It was obvious the story wasn't going to go on without Irene in any capacity whatsoever, though. I was hoping that they would, though. That would have reinforced. It would have helped them bounce back from all the people they previously killed and then brought back to life, or came back as ghosts, or did like that would have kind of exonerated them to some degree if they'd killed Irene right when we thought we were going to win and left her dead. Then it would have been like, okay, maybe we got to take this whole ArenaNet killing people thing seriously. But of course we don't, because most of the time they're just going to bring them back in some way. With the notable exception of Blish, whom they never ever bring back. Although we will get kind of a goodbye to Blish much later, right at the very end of Dragons. And there's actually some other stuff. There's an achievement that we will do as part of our story playthrough after we finish End of Dragons as well. That's kind of a goodbye to Belinda, and it's kind of an interesting thing. It's not... I actually did it relatively recently on my main account. I hadn't done it for the longest time. I just ignored it. And it's actually pretty good. Kind of cool. But not necessarily relevant to what we're doing right now. What we're doing right now is celebrating the fact that ArenaNet doesn't have the chutzpah to actually kill characters. Except for Blish. Finally, one other thing of note, which, by the way, to clarify that, I'm not advocating they bring Blish back. I hope they don't. I would like to see us kind of say goodbye to Blish properly, but I don't want them to bring him back, because this is a problem. I just wish that when they kill people, they'd leave them dead. That's what I'm trying to say. So one other thing to note. Yes, dragons eat magic. But when Irene came back and she's like kind of being a smartass, because, hey, look, I'm not dead. And she's like, eating a lich has its advantages. She makes a distinction that she ate a lich, that there was something about that. So, there was a big question, because Joko lied about a lot of things, right? He claimed that he killed Zaitan and he killed Mordremoth, and that, after we defeated Balthazar, that he killed Balthazar and all this business. So there was maybe reason to question some of his claims about immortality and how long he'd been around and all the things he'd done. But a lot of those things actually have a lot of credibility. And one of them, the idea that he was immortal or nearly immortal, obviously he wasn't completely immortal, and that he had this immense magic power of longevity. Irene herself gives credibility to that right here, right? Like Joko was the villain we needed, and Irene just couldn't figure out how to make that work. It's unfortunate. All right. So this instance... this right here, I kind of don't like. It's a really cool idea. They try to do something really fun here, but they just don't. It just doesn't. This isn't what Guild Wars 2 was designed to be, so it doesn't work particularly well. Much as.
We almost killed him in the keep.
Yeah.
Almost. Let's drive him back to Tyria and finish the job.
Okay, and we do see that he is bleeding badly. So yeah, what I was saying. Oh god, all this like chatter. This isn't what the game was designed to be. So they try to do something really cool, but they don't necessarily have the like the capability like written into the game or coded into the game. So remember when we were doing the sniper thing with Zafira and like the telegraphing was really poor? We're going to be dealing with some of that in this instance as well, where there's going to there's a possibility that we're going to get killed or knocked out of the sky or whatever because of some things that we're supposed to be able to avoid, but it's really hard to tell how to avoid them.
And Krakatorik's greatest secret.
Shattered crystal! Watch out for those!
Ah, look, took 2 hits right off the bat. It was a little unclear to me. You know, they were definitely headed center mass. It was unclear which way I needed to dodge. Those ones were a little bit easier. But yeah, we're almost certainly going to get hit one more time, so we're almost certainly going to die at some point during this. Those stones, the tail swing is a little bit easier. At some point here, we're going to get his tail swing, and we'll get a shield from Marine that we can use to defend ourselves from that. That's a little bit more manageable. The telegraph for that is pretty clear. But the rocks, like their trajectory, is super unclear. And there's 0 health regen that takes place. So we just can't afford to get hit again because we took 2 rocks right from the get-go. I should have... I should have pushed left or right, one way or the other, just in the interest of trying not to get hit by 2 of the rocks, I guess, is what I very much should have done.
He foresaw the possibility of a world at peace. A world without strife between dragons and mortals. A world without him.
That did it!
All right, so we have all these different targeting little reticles, targeting points that we can aim at and shoot Dragon's Fury at, to try and bring him down out of the sky. It's kind of all irrelevant. Like really, the only goal in this entire thing is to kind of enjoy it like a cinematic and don't get hit by the stupid rocks and then the stupid tail. The tail thing should be coming up. I actually thought it came earlier than this. Should be any second now.
We keep going!
And we'll get another skill down here unlocked for that. I think it's the second skill. Yeah. So we can see there's some telegraph taking place there, and there's dialogue that tells us we need to do it too. So we just gotta watch the tail. See, there it is again. That one's not so bad. It's the rocks that I get kind of pissed about. See, I can't, like, how do we know where those rocks are headed? I don't know. Oop, I used the shield probably a little bit preemptively there. Alright, we're good. No more tail for the moment. Now we gotta attack the wing. Apparently we're not hitting any of these. That's another thing too. There is an achievement for like hitting a whole bunch of the weak spots and like being really successful. A lot of these achievements, yeah, destroy at least 10 of the dragon's weak points. I've never done that, not even on my main account. This whole thing is just like so like unclear on how you achieve certain goals. Again, it's largely a cinematic though. Just avoid the rocks and the tail swoop when the tail swoop happens, and you'll be just fine, unless you just really need those achievements. Do I wish that, you know, much like with the, you know, Zafira thing, do I wish it was clearer and the gameplay was more direct so you could really enjoy the sequence? Yeah, absolutely. I hate it when they make garbage. But whatever. All this is doing is getting us to the map where we want to be in order to you know, to play out this chapter. So.
The Fisher of Woe. He's going to familiar places. How exactly are we getting him back to Tyria? I'm open a portal.
All right, we should get another skill here in a second. Yeah, there we go. So now we got open portal skill 3, and apparently, Irene can now shoot a portal gun out of her face. Oh, snap, he dodged it. Is that the plan, Commander? Try again? Alright, try again. Oh, look, it's Logan.
Too quick! Let's clip his wings.
A better world is waiting to be born.
There. Give it
Alright, so now we have a special skill designed to target that wound where there's like massive amounts of Krautktork blood pouring out. And we just whammo, blow that wing right off there. This is cool though. That's cool. Good job, Irene. So what did we fly past? That's actually part of Krautktork, right? In case that wasn't clear. When we were doing that little Irene flyover thing, which obviously the game was also not designed to be able to do, because it had all the graphical quality of like a PlayStation 1 game. And I'm playing on like Ultra, right? Am I not? If I'm not, I'm going to be super disappointed. Advanced, best appearance. Yeah. Ultra, high. Or any of these? Can any of these things go higher? I don't think so. Usually I play everything on the highest. In 1080 HD, not 4K. Yes, I got that. Yeah, so it just, you know, some certain things don't process well in this engine. But yeah, that is Krautktork. That's the point I'm trying to get to. All right,
Commander,
peeps,
we
what's
followed
up?
the tracker, and here you are.
Here I am.
And there's Krautktork, pinned under islands ripped out of the mist. This is incredible!
I thought we'd lost.
We all did. And maybe the world will end. But right now, right here, we've got a second chance.
All because of you, Aureen.
Now the real fight begins. It's not over yet. He is badly wounded, but I have to keep him down. Lean on each other. I'll work the sky. You work the ground.
Listen, we're making this up as we go along. What have we got?
Us, obviously. And the Omakan.
Kaith, Zafira, and Zaim rallied their own army. Came in on the Corsair ships.
Glint's forces are massing to our south, but no sign of Glint herself. Oh, and Logan. Your ancestor says she'd like to see you.
Okay.
You'll need a base of operations. I'll fortify this outcrop. Give it teeth.
One of us needs to scout this place. These are fragments of the mist. Anything and everything could be on them.
Plus, we need to map Krog's position and vulnerabilities. You have to send us out, Commander.
Actually, Timey, I could use you on my ship.
Plank counting and thumb twiddling. Ugh. Fun.
More like survey and patrol. You can keep an eye on Aureen, map the coastline, help with cannons.
Oh, okay.
I guess it was the
Boy,
cannons that
stay with
sold
Elmore
Timey
and
on that.
Canuck. I'll talk to our other armies, then get you whatever information you need.
Alright. Cool. Cool.
You okay? Is there something you wanted to tell me?
Yeah, but not now. Not here. Commander, I'd like to take the Olmecon west, build a beachhead. Unless you've got other plans.
Works for me.
I'll see if Timmy needs anything. Make sure she's okay.
Alright, so we kind of got a few things here, kind of building on the characters and who they are and so forth. When Logan, or real quick, look at Rox. Look at her shoulders and stuff. Which are shoulders that we could actually get as like an achievement in the living world. I can't go any further. So she's kind of going a little native with the Omicron thing. That's by design. It's kind of a foreshadowing of some stuff to come, and that's, you know, where she's about to talk to Bram right here and then doesn't. Like, that's kind of what that alludes to. And then we also have wherever Logan ran off to, when it was like, hey, Logan, your ancestor needs to speak to you. That was, again, a reference to Gwen, right?
They're calling themselves the Order of the Crystal Bloom. I tried to talk them out of it, but...
Aurene saved them, so they've come to fight for her. I couldn't say no.
Where's Zafira?
She left as soon as we landed. Said something about slow arrows not striking their mark. Think she'll be all right.
She's a priestess of the god of war. If anyone can take care of herself, it's her. Commander, you'll need a force on the far side of these islands. The Crystal Bloom could be that force.
Go. And good luck.
Alright. So there goes Saeda and Timmy sailing away on the airship. So one of the really fun things, we're about to step into the map here. Hopefully they're not like in the middle of the meta right now. That'd be kind of a buzzkill. One of the fun things about this map is the airship.
I've got a list of all the data I'll need. 2 lists, in fact.
But you can't do any of that until we find Gorik's instruments. The pack's still unpacking.
In the meantime, I've marked the high point for reconnaissance.
Huh. Turns out I can't see everything from this airship.
Of course. When all 3 camps are prepped, we'll take everything we've got and kick that damn dragon where it hurts.
Alright, so we had 2 chunks of dialogue there going on simultaneously. That was unfortunate. So what General Almora Soulkeeper here was doing was describing to us the basic concept of how the meta works. Let's see, where are we actually at on it? It looks like, let's see, 1 out of 4. Okay, so they're really early in the map. So the first thing they're going to do is establish camps. We can't see any of this yet because I haven't unlocked any of the map. There's basically 3 primary chunks, right? These little islands. There's one over here, one over here, one down here. This one's the Melandri one, this one's the Grenth one, this one's the Balthazar one. We remember passing through those portions of the mist as we were chasing Kralkatorrik around in that rather unfortunate thing where we fly around on Arene's back. Again, conceptually super cool, but didn't manifest very well. So that's what General Soulkeeper was telling us. We were also getting dialogue from Timmy and Gorik. And Timmy said, or Gorik says, when you have a moment, Commander, I got a list of all the data I need. 2 lists, in fact. And Timmy says, but you can't do any of that until we find Gorik's instruments. The pack's still unpacking. In little play on words, apparently. And then Gorik says, in the meantime, I've marked a high point for reconnaissance. So that's kind of the first thing that we will get to is Gorik's reconnaissance. Now, do keep in mind, this is the map that gave us... Oh, look, another one of those Dragon's Blood weapons. There's the shield and the sword. My mount's fire kind of... Again, really good weapons. Okay. Yes, this is the map that gave us Skyscale, so that made it really interesting because, you know, initially, like, all the story that I'm doing right now, you would have done without Skyscale, but then within... a week, because it took a few days to get the Skyscale, even if you already had everything kind of ready to go and you drove through it super fast, which I did not necessarily do because initially I didn't want to rush. Even though I had everything, I had 250 of all the map currency already entering this chapter. because I just been messing around on the other Living World maps so much. I spent a lot of time in the Season 4 maps, so I happen to have the currency. I had friends who didn't, and boy, were they salty, because of course the Return to achievements weren't around. So in order to get Skyscale, they had to farm all that currency. They were really, really unhappy about that. And a lot of people were. A lot of people were really frustrated that ArenaNet didn't give some sort of warning that you were going to need tons of map currency from the previous maps to get the shiny object from this chapter. I don't necessarily know that ArenaNet owed that to anybody. It might have been kind of a nice thing to do. Player frustration maybe should have been something that they could have anticipated and maybe should have anticipated. But at the same time, I don't know that like they owed it to the community to say, hey, go farm this. I mean, farming is what players are going to do anyway, right? Like it's an MMO. That's what your players are doing. They're farming. But yeah, after about a week, it was fun to like be navigating the map and see other people on the Skyscale, and what is now like a super normal thing. Oh, we should run down and get that in a second. What is now a super normal thing of seeing people on Skyscales just like go screaming by you while they're on their way to XYZ was on this map first a novelty and kind of an interesting and fun thing to see. Obviously, it got tiresome after a while, as it is these days, but at the time, it was cool. All right, Gorik wants me to conduct some reconnaissance, so here I am, up at the top of this high point, and we can kind of see what I was talking about earlier, right? We can see down onto that starting point. There's the one bridge, right? You can see part of the bridge here. It extends over to this part. Yeah, that's about where it links up with that main island. There's a second bridge, and it pushes into the regions of Grenth, which are like over here. And then there's the third bridge, and it pushes over that way, where you see like that's the region where Balthazar is. We'll actually watch this one. We'll be able to see some of this. Alright, so we're looking towards Balthazar. See like smoke, fire, and fiery things. Now we should be looking towards some of Grenth's stuff. There goes the airship scooting around. There's Melander's region. And it's going to circle right around back towards us. Oh, went past us. Oh, yes. That is Kralkatorik's other wing, which got separated from it. So the wing that we done shot off with Arene's face laser.
What's it look like up there?
Kralkatorik's buried. I can't see his head. He's covered with brandstorms and lightning. Getting close will be dangerous. I can see his severed wing from here, too.
Wait, really? If we can reach it, then that means... Oh.
The dragon's blood spears were weak because we didn't have his blood. If we did have it...
I'll call in a chopper. Someone can fly up and collect some blood. There has to be some way to fuse it with our spears.
Ooh, a challenge. I'm on it.
In the meantime, can you meet with my research assistant? We located the crate with Gorik's instruments.
Research assistant? Okay. Just send me the coordinates.
Alright. Yes, so that other wing, we should be able to see from here. It's this over here, off in the distance. Okay. Let's go get that mastery point real quick. Like, because we're not even gaining mastery on Season 4 maps right now, are we? Oh, yeah, it's because I'm saving everything for the rollerblade. Although I don't need that many mastery points for rollerblade. It's fine. Nobody cares. Not that big a deal. And even if I use some of those mastery points, like, it wouldn't allow us to collect more experience. Because it would be the end of whatever track we applied it to. Right? And this is the only one where it's not. But that's a separate thing that we have to trigger. So if I were to use that, we still wouldn't be able to add our experience to this. So right now, there's really nothing we can do with our experience anyway. We're losing it either way. So we might as well save those mastery points for Roller Beetle. And then once we're done with that, then we'll see what we got left. We can do whatever. Okay, we need to go link up with Gorik's research assistant, who is going to give us some instruments so that we can conduct more survey type things to help Gorik understand the magical lay of the land to help us prep to fight Kralkatorik. Gorik wants to know what's going on. Understanding the terrain will put us in a better position. That's basically the concept here. Oh, look, it's Bram.
Ram? Your Tiny's assistant?
Whatever Timey needs, I'll get her. I'm supposed to give you these. Good luck, Commander.
I feel so assisted right now. Gorik, tell the commander about what you sent.
The indicator should guide you to a few points of tremendous seismic interest. Plant the instruments, or B57X seismic taps, and they'll send us data about this terrain. Data the tracker can't give us.
Any reports from that chopper you sent up for the blood?
Not yet. We're experiencing some static interference. I'll call if something comes up.
Okay. Cool, cool. Alright, so I think the last thing I'm going to do today, before we take a break...
Hey, I just fixed this thing!
Ooh.
Don't let them dent the derm!
That voice is coming from right up here. So this is just all the, much like Dragon Stand, everything on this map drives towards the meta. There's really not anything that doesn't. Some events kind of don't need to succeed or kind of stand apart. For example, like defense of the bridges. Once you get the camp set up, you don't necessarily have to defend the bridges. Other little things like that. There's some random events, some champions that spawn and stuff that are kind of unrelated. But essentially, like Dragon's Stand and like Dragon's End, this map serves, this map exists exclusively to serve the meta event. Okay, let's use our little device here to see if we can find where to plant the seismic tap. Looks like right about here somewhere. Oh, is it on the other side of this little rise? Yeah, it is. There we go. Nice.
Feel the fury.
So these enemies will interrupt you while you're planting it. In fact, it looks like they're going to get to me in time. Ah, they did. Right at the very end. And then ran off? What a jerk. Alright. Try it again.
Gorik, I've put the first tap down. Are you getting what you need from it?
I'm seeing the data now. Keep placing those instruments. With enough readings, I'll be able to map the substrata.
Well, that's what we need, right, Gorik? We need to map the... Oh, I'm going the wrong one. Need to map that substrata. Yeah, I want to be there. Whoops. Whoa. Close call. Wyvern tried to eat me. So the bridges, by the way, since I mentioned them a few minutes ago, were and are, continue to be a source. Oh, look, one of the bridge defenses is taking place now. Can we get there in time to get credit for it? Because these are a source of frustration for players. You have to successfully take or defend a certain number of bridges to get an achievement on the map, which is used to get the armor that's specific to this map, right? So there, we just got another one. I think on this account we are still however many bridges short. I don't think we have the achievement yet, and thus we don't have the pants or whatever it is that you get with that. So this armor came in two forms, like the basic form and then the like awakened form, which had like little extra like crystals and stuff added to it, and I think came in an ascended form as well. I don't remember though. Maybe not. Maybe not. Don't recall. We can go back and look, but I don't know that I care that much. We're eternal. My beautiful infrastructure. We're at 4 out of 10 bridges. So if we want, oh, it's a glove. If we want the Mist Shard glove box. If we want to unlock the gloves, then we need 6 more bridges. Let's see. No, that's not it. Do we have all the rest? No. We also don't have the coat. That requires killing every champion after the meta event takes place. That would give us the coat. That's actually not that hard. If you have a sky scale, it's pretty easy. You just keep up with the group as they go from champ to champ. Assuming it's an organized map with a commander tag, which it looks like this one is at the moment. These days, the commanders usually run like a very specific route that takes you to every champ. let's say you miss a couple for whatever reason. You do the meta again, you go camp the ones you're missing, and so after 2, worst case scenario 3 metas, you should easily get the coat. But getting those bridges can be real rough, and it causes people to get people get real touchy about it. They get real mad at each other. Someone does a bridge and doesn't call it out in the map, which I am not a believer that you are in any way obligated to call events out in map chat. Is it a polite thing to do? Sure, why not? If you do it, good on you. I'm proud of you. Like you're a fine person. But I don't believe that people are obligated to do it. And I find it somewhat humorous when folks get like real worked up in map chat over the issue. And I mean like crazy worked up. Hey, switch weapons. I can only imagine at times that they're like at home crying. Like it really seems that way sometimes. The degree to which they get expressive and some of the things they say, I hope your goldfish dies when you overfeed it goldfish flakes, whatever the case may be. Which is really horrible, right? To wish death on someone's goldfish. Really horrible.
Good. Keep going. This is adding to what we know. Tyria, can you double check these numbers?
Sure thing, but first, Commander, that chopper, it just fell out of the sky. Something around that wing is creating a technological dead zone. We can't get up there.
I doubt it's mechanical. Wonder if it's some sort of organic construct.
Figure it out! Oraine's busy with Krakatorik, and Saida and I are providing critical air support. Commander, we need that blood. Can you find a different way up?
As soon as I place this last tap.
Alright, so the chopper they're referring to is the one that was going up. In case it wasn't clear, I think it's pretty clear, but the one that was going to get the blood of Krakatorik to put on the spears, so then we have real Dragon's Blood spears instead of kind of like knockoff folkly sort of Dragon's Blood spears, right? Did I go on the wrong? I did. I went the wrong way. And then I managed to get knocked off my mount. Adding insult to injury. Alright. So I'm actually, I took the wrong little tunnel thing, and I'm headed back to the Pack Command here instead of going, there's a bridge, like over here. But I failed to go the right way. 100% my fault. That is not something I can blame ArenaNet for. I love blaming them for stupid things because they engage in a lot of stupid things. But this is not one that I can put on them. I did not navigate effectively. Land navigation, man. It's like a fundamental skill. If you can't land navigate, then you get lost. You got no one to blame but yourself. I wonder if we can jump from here over to the other bridge. Oh, look. Grab some... no, it's higher than this one. Yeah, we can still get over there.
Shiny.
Yeah, this is the right way. Alright, so one more seismic... What was it? Seismic probe or something like that? Left to plant. Oh, we're not going to make it to this bridge in time. Unless we can get that guy. Nope, we didn't get it. Can we get that one? Unlikely. Did it give it to us? Did it? I don't know if it did or not. I mean, I guess if we really, really cared, we could check. Are we halfway to our gloves? Nope, 4 of 10. Whatever it gave us credit for, wasn't that? So this Balthazar area, this map in general can be a bit tough to navigate. This can be kind of a hard area. The Balthazar region of this map, I think, in my opinion at least, is by far the most difficult of the three, with Melandru, in my opinion, being the easiest. But yeah, the whoop. It's on the other side of that. Ooh, is this guy gonna get to us in time? Nah, we're good.
All taps are down.
All taps are down.
Something odd's going on. Is that ley energy?
Hulk's impact broke into subsurface ley lines? Oh, no!
Wait, that's why my numbers look like this?
What's ley energy doing here?
Kralkatorik's absorbing it. He's healing.
We need to cut him off from those ley lines, fast!
If he's healing, Orion's attacks won't hold him down. We have to get his blood for our spears.
Okay, Gork and I'll figure out a solution for the ley lines. You should get up to that wing if you can find a way.
Sorry to interrupt. Orien, she's found something.
Kate, champion, come to me.
She's in the far south.
Hope everything's all right. See you there.
Okay, I don't know why we're so surprised. Like, why is the commander like, ley lines? What are those doing here? I thought we had already established, like, within the lore. Like, I thought the commander was already savvy to the fact that ley lines are like a global phenomena. You know, it's how magic kind of circulates through the globe. But apparently, the commander has forgotten that, or, you know, like it's in some way, you know, this is a revelation or something. Okay, so real quick before we go, because we are going to pack it up here for the day, but one observation. So we are currently there, and we need to be there. That takes us like that. So we might actually be able to skirt. Well, no, we'd actually have to go over like that. So you see this? If we try to fly right over that with our sky scale, I don't believe we can. Definitely if we were to glide down in that, it'll 100% kill us. I think even if we try to go over it with the sky scale, it'll kill us. So like right now, roughly, like right up here is the direction we need to go to find Irene and chat with her about whatever she found. But ultimately what we'll end up doing when we come back next time, and probably what I'll do is, I don't like to start a new video in the same spot that I wrap one up. So as we wrap up here, probably what I will do is start out next time like over here, and we'll be closer to our goal. But just quick note, don't try gallivanting through the purple stuff, because it is going to be kind of a disappointing experience if you do that. Probably not going to work out the way you wanted. Okay, so wrapping it up for today, we have dived into Chapter 6, the final chapter of Living World Season 4. We rode on Irene as if she were some kind of fighter jet, and she shot laser beams out of her face and so forth. A really fun idea for an instance. I don't love the way it manifests, but I guess they did the best they could with the technology they had available. It does make for a cool cinematic if you just want to treat it like a cinematic, right? And in that process of that whole thing, we shot down Kralkatorik. So whammy, Kralkatorik goes crashing to Earth. And in fact, that is him right behind us here. He's down in this haze. There's a bit of like his skin and stuff right there. So he comes crashing down out of the sky, and he is pinned down. So we can literally see him here on the map. See the wing? Big old wing there. The other wing, which we shot off, is actually over here. It fell separate from him. His head is like down over here. There's his big old tail. So we can fully see Kralkatorik laying down here on the map. And he is pinned down by these other islands that came crashing down on top of him. These islands are chunks of the mist that he ripped out of the mist when he was traveling through along with Irene. So we're kind of to blame for this. This is very like ecologically damaging. We have ripped out chunks of the mist and dropped them into Tyria. Shame on us. Greta Thunberg would not approve. So now, as we go forward, We have helped Gorick like kind of chart the terrain. When we come back, we're going to link up with Irene because she really wants to talk to us, and they're going to prepare for the fight with Kralkatorrik. Again, fight part 2, right? Fight part 1, he killed Irene, but lucky us, she came back to life. So now we get to fight part 2. Of note, after doing the story portion of that, we are then going to do the meta event here, which will take place like all over the map. I won't necessarily record like while we're just setting up the camps and stuff, but then the final fight we will catch on video to include in our story playthrough because it's kind of central to the story. Much like Dragon Stand, the fight out here and the commander's personal fight against Kralkatorrik in this case take place simultaneously. So we'll tackle that here in a couple videos. In the meantime, we're going to pack it up for today. So I hope you enjoy your holiday weekend, your extra day off, and so forth. Use it to commemorate in whatever way you see fit. And we'll pick it up here again tomorrow and continue our story playthrough. Thank you.